Another might be when you're in the poor sinner's parlor, as it was sometimes called, saying your goodbyes and talking with the religious figures and all that stuff, and then the announcement comes in, as it often did in the German states especially, the executioner is at hand. And this person shows up, Franz Schmidt showed up in his best robes of office, came with a drink, and shared the famous last drink with the condemned. There also, in many places, was a famous last meal, sometimes called the hanging's meal, and this is supremely weird. I think it was Richard Evans who pointed out that a lot of these poor, convicted German criminals during this era, this lavish meal that they gave them right before they died was probably the greatest meal that they'd ever had, and far above anything they'd ever even seen. And oftentimes the people who judged you and the religious figures and even the executioner will eat with you at this meal, and you might be required to wear your own burial shroud, so the whole thing's not weird, not at all, right? It's part of the psychological breakdown. I mean, I'm in my burial shroud, I'm having the best meal I've ever had, and I'm eating with the guy who's going to kill me. But if a guy with 394 kills on his record comes to me and says, listen, I know what I'm doing here, I've done this a lot of times, let me tell you how it's going to go easiest for you and easiest for me, I think I'm going to listen to him. After all, if I squirm around too much and don't do what this guy wants, he's going to take more than one shot at my head, if this is a decapitation, for example. And should be pointed out, another historian had a great line. He said, listen, these people are under enough pressure anyway. They have a reputation, not totally without reason, of drinking too much. What would you do? Again, your job to kill people. How are you going to handle that? But if these guys take too many strokes to do the job, it might be open season on them. And violence, as Richard Evans points out, violence against executioners who botched the job, well, the sources are abundant. But that will make him even more nervous, right? So you really want this condemned to sit still, work with you, and you'll all get out of here as easy as possible, right? I'm going to listen to the experts in this case, and he explains to me the best way to hold my head to make this go fast. I'm going to be broken on the wheel or broken with the wheel. The directions might be a little bit more complex. Just to throw this in there, because I think it's also interesting, another reason these people are so dishonorable is they often had a lot of side gigs in the community that were also sort of untouchability things, like cleaning the latrines, and picking up dead animals, and all the stuff people don't want to do, right? The unclean kind of stuff. But it's kind of interesting because they could often make a really good living this way, right? Almost to the point where they're rich. And one source pointed out how interesting it was, because we modern people think that money is the great equalizer. And his point was, no, in the earlier eras you could be as rich as Midas, but if you're at a